Welcome to the fundamental update for 12th of April 2026. If you're following the channel, you know I drop fundamental updates every single weekend explaining what happened in the previous week and what you should be expecting this week. As usual, I need you to pay close attention because I'll be telling you what you should do this week and the fundamental updates you should be expecting this week and how it's going to affect the market. Currently, I'm looking at the stock market. This is S&P 500, and the stock market usually drops during times of uncertainty and rise during times of risks on expectation. So you can see the stock market currently rose on Friday. Why did this happen? This is simply because of the ceasefire talks. If you'll be following my fundamental updates, you know I told you all that we are currently going through a season of uncertainty. We're having war, or there's a war between the Iran and US, and this war is about to come to an end because there's ceasefire talks, there's peace talks that's happening, and Trump also giving speech. Now this is affecting the market. What should we be expecting? Currently this week on Tuesday, I think, yes, we had a peace talk by Trump, and due to this peace talk, oil price dropped drastically, and this made dollar to sell massively, right? You can see this was the drop on oil price on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and this made oil to drop drastically. But now you all know why oil will drop, because of inflation expectations. Once the war is over, oil supply disruption will come to an end and oil price will actually drop, inflation will start dropping. So due to this, dollar actually also dropped too as well, because investors remove their money from dollar because they expect that the inflation would come to an end, the inflation rise will come to an end. In the previous fundamental update, I told you all to be careful about key levels which happened, about this key level which dollar have gotten to, and dollar actually got to that key level and started showing a little bit of sell side. Why? Because the war has already been priced in. I explained something very, very important to you, or I told you all something when it comes to macroeconomics. There's something called when the news has already been priced in. The war has already been priced in, so any more news on war might not really move the market, because the market dollar has already gone all the way to this top. Now, what we should be expecting from this side is a new expectation, something that will make dollar actually, give us volatility. Because if you notice, once dollar got here, even though the war continued, we could still see the markets ranging at that key level. This shows that there was low volatility and the war was no more investors' focus. Investors' focus shifted to economic growth, but now it has shifted back to the war because of the ceasefire talks that is going on. Now, the ceasefire on Tuesday made dollar drop, and we are still experiencing more ceasefire talks which happened on Friday, which made dollar to sell a bit. Now, what is the expectation? It's going to be a very, very short fundamental update, because currently the market focus is only on the ongoing war and the ceasefire talks that is happening. Now, what is the expectation? The expectation is that this ceasefire talks might continue, but the market is not really taking it seriously. I got a news today on Sunday saying that the market might still be bullish on dollar, because why? The ceasefire talks, it's not taken seriously by the investors. So we might still see a little bit rise to this key level, but I don't expect market to easily break out of this key level. That is my expectation. Market will not easily break out of this key level. So we might see a little bit range until this ceasefire talks is now, permanent. We've seen that, the market have come to a conclusion that the war is over, then dollar will start dropping. Also, based on dollar being bearish, inflation rate is actually dropping too as well, because on Friday we had inflation data coming out, and you can see it came out lower than expected, which also gave the investors more room to sell dollar because of the expectation of a further rate cut this year. I don't need to explain some of this term. I've been saying it a lot to you all, and by now you should be used to it. If you really, really want to learn more about macroeconomics and how to read fundamental updates, you know what to do. Text me up on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp contacts will be dropped below in the YouTube description. Make sure to click it, text me up, let me know you're interested, and I'll put you through, and you're going to learn from the best. You understand? So that is just currently it. Let us go to the news expectations for this week. This week we don't really have much news expectation, just the core PPMI. Core PPMI will be one of the most important news coming out, but I don't think investors would even care about that, because currently we are focusing on the ceasefire talks. We want to know if the war is coming to an end. You can also see employment change on AUD and GBP. Now, what is my expectations for this week? My expectations for this week, if you should trade, is that dollar might actually be bearish, but it will range first, listing up. Now, you can see this is already looking like a ranging market. Let's cancel this. This is already looking like a ranging market. Now, for the fact that market is ranging, which means the news is indecisive. Why? Because today we hear ceasefire talks, tomorrow we hear that the investors are not actually taking the ceasefire talks seriously. Do you understand? So this is one of those periods where the market is indecisive, and this is one of those periods which is best to stay out of the market. If you are a swing trader like me that love trading based on, you love holding your positions for too long, because I myself, I love holding my positions 90 pips, 80 pips, 100 pips, I would stay out of the market. If you're a scalper or a day trader, you want to trade, you can trade based on technicals, you understand? But my expectations for dollar is due to the fact that we're already expecting a rate cut on dollar, and the war is coming to an end. The war volatility itself have reduced. We might see a range here and dollar will drop. But if a news should come out and that news is very strong and pushes dollar all the way to the top, then dollar might actually be bullish for a while before selling. Do you understand? So that is just it. The ceasefire talks currently is making dollar range and is making the market indecisive. So this week I might actually stay out of the market and not take any further trade, but I'll still be dropping fundamental updates for my students and all. You can see Euro USD is already pushing up higher. This is a sign that the bearish trend is over, and this is already a bullish trend. So we're expecting market to do something like this and maybe go all the way to the top, sweep liquidity, go all the way to the top, if I'm not mistaken. But for now, like I said, I'm not taking any trade on USD pairs. For now, I'm sitting dunk on USD pairs. Do you understand? I wouldn't actually want to risk it, because to be honest, it's not something that is worth risking, because the market is indecisive for now. Let us also look at JPY pairs. My take on JPY pairs is that JPY is currently picking up due to the fact that we are expecting. What are we expecting? We're expecting Japanese yen to pick up strength, because we're expecting a further rate hike on Japanese yen. CAD JPY is currently looking like a very good sell entry. I missed it, but if market should come back to this level, I might actually pick up that sell and go all the way to the downside. Do you understand? So that is my outlook for CAD JPY. Let's see how it goes. I'm not saying you should risk everything. Remember, the market environment is not really friendly at this particular period, but this look like a good setup because Japanese yen is picking up strength. CAD should be weak based on the news that is going on. AUD JPY as well. AUD is weakening due to the fact that inflation is rising, but the economy is not doing well. So I have already drawn a key level saying that AUD might likely not pass this key level, but I'm not seeing any confirmation to sell yet. So you might see liquidity being swept a bit before market actually drop. I will tell you to wait for a confirmation. Remember, this is the 4 hours time frame, so you don't want to be risking anything too quickly. Japanese yen is picking up strength, and that should be it. If dollar is weakening and Japanese yen is picking up strength, we should be expecting a sell on USD JPY, right? Yes, but for now it's still a ranging market, and I'll advise you to sit down. Don't go and start selling USD JPY just yet. It's still a ranging market. But if you are a day trader and you feel you found entry here, you can take it on a sell and see how it goes. You understand? Because this is the 4 hours time frame. And 4 hours time frame, this looks like a clean ranging market. I wouldn't lie. This is a clean ranging market. And that is simply it for USD JPY. Now, for BTC USD, if the ceasefire talk should continue, BTC USD will actually pick up strength. Yes, because BTC USD only does well during risk on environment, which is when there's no war, when there's nothing happening in the environment. So from everything that's going on, ceasefire is already happening. We're already seeing that the war is about to come to an end. BTC is already picking up, but we are seeing a little bit of retracement. Will this retracement continue? If the war comes to an end, we could see BTC rise all the way back to the top. Do you understand? So if you're a fan of BTC USD, you can start looking for a buy entry based on the fact that the war is coming to an end. But if there's any update on the war, I will still let you all know. Do you understand? So that is just simply it. In case you have any pair you want me to look at, in case you have any pair you're analyzing and you say, oh, you want me to look at it, let me know. I will be willing to give it a shot for you. For now, that is it for the fundamental updates for this week. Make sure to trade carefully and make sure to ask me your questions in case you have any. For now, have a lovely trading week ahead. See you all, or I'll hear from you all this week, and I'll talk to you all next weekend. Trade safely, trade with good risk management.